Let's dive into something that's quietly reshaping global finance, and it involves a figure you might not expect: Donald Trump. His recent interest in stablecoins isn't just a casual nod to tech. It appears to be a calculated move, part of a much larger blueprint to keep the US dollar firmly on top. Remember those tariff wars he waged? While they looked like a big push for American manufacturing, at their core, they hinted at something deeper: fiscal anxiety. With the national debt looming large and domestic tax hikes being a political minefield, the hunt for revenue turned global. China, perhaps, didn't quite deliver the windfall hoped for, but the drive for financial stability certainly remained the priority. Think of the United States as a massive corporation, and its government as the CEO trying to keep the lights on. Right now, that corporation is facing a serious cash flow problem that could stall its entire operation. The usual fix? Borrowing money, specifically by issuing U.S. Treasury bonds. The trick, as any good CEO knows, is to borrow huge sums at the lowest possible interest rates. For a long time, central banks all over the world practically lined up to buy U.S. debt. But things are shifting. There's a growing trend towards de-dollarization. When fewer buyers show up for your debt, you're forced to offer higher interest rates to entice them, which, of course, makes everything more expensive for the government. If those treasury bonds don't find buyers, the financial spigot could run dry, potentially leading to a government funding crisis. So finding new ways to attract investment is absolutely critical. This is where stablecoins come into the picture. Some believe they could be the unexpected hero that helps solidify the dollar's global standing. Let's take Tether USDT as a prime example, being the largest stablecoin pegged one-to-one to the US dollar. What's fascinating is Tether's significant holdings in US Treasury bonds. Their first quarter 2025 report reveals they hold nearly $120 billion in these bonds, while also reporting over $1 billion in quarterly operating profits. That's a serious amount of capital in play. So why are stablecoins gaining such momentum? They've managed to fill some crucial gaps left by traditional finance. For one, our banking system can be clunky, especially for cross-border transfers, slow and costly due to multiple intermediaries and currency conversions. Stablecoins offer a slicker, faster alternative. Second, there are segments of the market, think certain informal or gray economies, that struggle to access traditional financial services. Stablecoins give them a digital, more efficient way to transact without needing physical cash. And perhaps most compellingly, they offer a lifeline in places battling hyperinflation. Take Argentina, for instance, where annual inflation topped 140% in 2023. There, stablecoins became vital, accounting for over 61% of all crypto transactions, far exceeding the global average. They allow for quick, direct digital payments functioning 24/7 globally without the need for traditional banks. This incredible utility is reflected in their explosive growth. The global stablecoin market swelled from just $20 billion in 2020 to a staggering $250 billion by 2025. That's an 11-fold increase in just 5 years.
Let's look at Tether's operational model. When you exchange, say, $1 for a USDT, Tether takes that dollar, but they don't just spend it. They're legally bound to hold an equal amount in reserves, ready for whenever you want your dollar back. Instead of letting that money sit idle in a low-interest bank account, Tether strategically invests it in highly liquid, secure, and stable assets. Their go-to choice: short-term U.S. Treasury bonds. This essentially turns Tether into a kind of low-risk digital money market fund. They make their profit not from your deposit interest, but from the annual interest differential they earn on these managed assets, typically between 2% and 4%. So behind every USDT, there's effectively a US Treasury bond generating income. Their financial reports show that roughly 66% of their assets are indeed in US Treasury bonds. This brings us to the bigger picture, the geopolitical implications. It seems the US government has spotted stablecoins as a potentially discreet and effective channel to help navigate its financial challenges. This could be a significant reason why the US Congress is actively moving forward with new stablecoin regulatory bills. The idea that stablecoins can reinforce the dollar's dominance lies in the core logic of the dollar system itself. If stablecoins funnel funds into U.S. Treasury bonds, then they support the very foundation of dollar hegemony. The dollar's global reach isn't just about how much of it is printed, it's about the world's willingness to buy and hold it. And U.S. Treasury bonds are central to that mechanism. Without global demand for these bonds, the dollar wouldn't enjoy its universal status. Nations, central banks, and financial institutions worldwide buy U.S. Treasury bonds, not out of charity, but because they're seen as the most liquid, credible, and widely traded assets on the planet. This global path of using dollars to buy U.S. Treasury bonds creates a powerful, self-sustaining loop. It strengthens the dollar's role as the world's leading reserve, trade, and transaction currency. The U.S. government, often running deficits, sustains itself by issuing debt. And here's the unique part. The U.S. is the only country that can repay its debts with its own currency, theoretically allowing for extensive borrowing, with the risks broadly distributed globally. It's a fascinating, self-perpetuating system. The world aims to earn dollars, then uses those dollars to buy U.S. Treasury bonds, which finances the U.S. government, which in turn makes the dollar stronger, encouraging more dollar earning. While most countries rely on exporting goods to earn foreign currency, the U.S. relies on selling debt to drive dollar usage. As long as the demand for U.S. Treasury bonds remains robust, this economic model can continue. And in this context, stablecoins appear to be emerging as a new financial pathway, potentially drawing capital from various global sources to bolster the vital demand for U.S. Treasury bonds. It's a curious turn of events. Stablecoins, once seen as potentially disruptive, now appear to be playing a significant role in supporting the very bedrock of the U.S. dollar.